For the Beaver Radio Network, I'm Kelly Schultz. Joining me from the BSU softball team is Angie Roberts, a senior outfielder from Andover, Minnesota. And Angie, this last weekend I had my first chance to watch your team play against Upper Iowa. First game was great. Jess Yost pitched a great game, 7-3 win. You went 1 for 2 in that first game. What was it like to get back out on the field here at home?
It feels really good, and especially with the weather we've been having, it's really nice. Our field was ready to play on really early this season, which it's probably the earliest that it's ever been in my career here. I mean, look back to freshman year when we had, I think, 2 home games. We were on the road all the time. It's just been really awesome. My parents get to come up, and they love coming to Bemidji.
You played in that first game, but then didn't play in the second game. I was a bit surprised because you batted well in that first game. Was that just coach's decision, or did you get dinged up?
I felt fine, but, getting people out there, getting Rochelle in right field, she's great in the outfield, so I have fun cheering for her. I'm always told when I'm on the bench that I could be a commentator because of the things that I say. So I have fun sitting on the bench, playing whatever I can do.
Whatever you can do for the team, right?
Right.
Well, and that's, as a senior, it's got to be kind of a challenge too, knowing that there are so many good younger players, just to give them an opportunity. But for you, do you have to have some patience too?
I don't know. That's kind of a tough question. I guess as a senior, I try not to be so hard on myself, so hard on my team, just have fun because, the games that we get to play are limited now. We have, I think, the seniors 20 or 22 games, not including the conference tournament, if and when we make that. So I think just having fun, being loose.
Okay, that second game, your team was up 2-1 going into the 7th. Those games are tough to stay in. I know the bases got loaded up, Jess got pulled. How much pressure is on her, being that she's your best pitcher?
It's a lot of pressure. I can't imagine. I used to be a pitcher back in high school. I stopped pitching, but it's a lot of pressure, and especially when you get into pitching 12 innings a day. I can't really imagine. She spins the ball really well, so I'm sure her arm is aching. That's a tough score to go into the 7th inning, and when they load the bases up, our defense didn't really play well behind her. We made a couple errors, but I don't know. We can learn from it.
You mentioned the fielding. I know Upper Iowa had a great fielding that second game, 2 double plays. How much does that kind of psych you guys out when you get back out on the field?
Well, it's fun to watch other teams do well, as much as you don't want them to turn those double plays against you. You kind of have to tip your hats to them. We've had a lot of teams turning double plays on us lately, and I don't think it's necessarily because we're slow on the base paths, but we've been hitting them so hard at them. And I think we're going to catch a break here sometime soon, hit them hard somewhere that they're not standing. But I don't know. We've seen a lot of really good defensive plays, so it's tough on us, but then again, it's nice to see some really good softball played.
The one thing I noticed from calling my first softball games of the year is the sportsmanship that goes into watching 2 teams play against each other. Obviously, everybody wants to win. I watched you go over to the other coaches and ask about the cheers, and that is the one thing that makes softball so unique, is the cheers that come from the bullpen or from the dugouts during those games. What were you saying to their coaches?
Well, we love playing Upper Iowa. They were a really, really good team last year, and we actually dropped a few games against them, really close games, but they have such great sportsmanship. You get a good hit and the shortstop will come to you and say, hey, that was a great hit. And I mean, especially in college, that's just so nice. It's such a high level of competition. But after the games, I just asked their coach, your cheers are so much fun. Sometimes when I'm in the outfield, I find myself moving along to them and I'm like, oh, come on, stop that. But she was actually telling me that their cheerleading coach sometimes comes to practice and gives them cheers to work on. So I thought that was kind of funny.
We need to hook up your cheerleading coach here at BSU and get you guys some cheers, right?
Definitely.
All right. Winona State went on to beat you guys 9-1 and 9-0 yesterday, or Sunday. Tables were turned as you guys faced another great pitcher. What was it about Winona State that you just weren't able to get those hits?
They have a great pitching staff, and they have 2 very strong pitchers that pitch a little bit differently. So their first pitcher moves side to side, and she also has a rise ball. She pitches really well, and she's a lefty, so that was hard to time up. And then their second pitcher has just a really great rise ball. And so it's you're getting those different looks, and then to tack it on, they were hitting the ball extremely well, hitting it to the gaps. I mean, we had a couple of errors, but they played a really good game, and you have to tip your hats to them as well.
What do you learn when you come out of a weekend like this last one?
I mean, you got to learn that you're going to get handed those losses. I mean, the season gets really long if you get hung up on something like that. So we have to just move on. We have St. Cloud on Wednesday, and those are going to be good games. They always play us really hard, and they're fun to play. So we look forward to that.
What else do you know about St. Cloud as you get ready to play the Huskies?
They have had some success this year. They've played a lot of games, and so I don't know how their pitchers are feeling, but they've had a couple of pretty decent pitchers come up this year, which is pretty good. They always have pretty strong hitting, so we're going to have to play well.
You got that Wednesday, and then this weekend you hit the road, another road trip for the Beavers with Concordia, St. Paul, and Mankato. How fun is it going to just be to get on the road and get to bond with this team?
I love getting on the road with them. It's so much fun. Getting to spend time with them in the hotel. I know I brought a cribbage board last weekend. We played some cribbage. I won every time. So that was good. We look forward to playing in Concordia this year. Every year that we've played there, it has been snowing and 35 degrees. And it looks like it's going to be sunny and 60, at least last time I checked. So that's going to be great.
We'll take this warm weather. Angie, what are your plans after college?
I am a marketing communications major, and so I'm going to graduate, and then I'm looking at job opportunities in the cities.
Good luck to you this week and this weekend and the rest of the season and in your career. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.